Hey guys, Generation here. So this is kind of long video. We got 3 different teams that I wanted to showcase that are very common in the meta, very powerful teams. They can all win. And the first one that we're going to do here is going to be the Oxford U team. Basically, it is a double shadow team, guys. Double shadow. So it uses Shadow Shiftry and Shadow Swampert in the back with a steel lead, right? You got Skarmory in the lead. This team works because it spams moves that your opponent will shield. Both the Hydro Cannons coming out of your Shadow Swampert and the Leaf Blades and Foul Plays coming out of your Shadow Shiftry will draw shields, and when they're out of shields, they're not going to be able to handle the second Shadow in the back spamming those ultra powerful moves. So that's kind of how this works. And of course, you got the Skarmory in the front because everybody wants to run a Abomasnow right now. So let's get into some matches. See what we can do here. Looks like we got a little bit of a wait time. There we go. There's our first opponent. Let's see how we do. By the way, guys, stop by the live streams. We're having a ton of fun over there. Okay, guys, so here we go. We're met with a Cresselia. Okay, now that is generally a good lead for us. But this opponent plays really smart. Okay, he brings in his fighter. Okay, so we bring in our Swampert because we know that we can win that matchup as long as he, we can take an Ice Punch. The problem is we need to watch out for those Psychics. The Psychics are what really could get us here. So this opponent plays really smart. Cresselia ends up being a problem for this team, and you guys will see why. Okay, he feints the Psychic, right? So we're not going to be able to farm down here. Unfortunately, he would be able to get to 3. Shadow Punch, he's trying to double up here. Another Ice Punch is going to come through. Sorry about the notifications, guys. I had forgot to turn them off, and Pogoscience Discord is always popping. So we're going to have to use our last shield here, which really kind of stinks, right? In hindsight... Yeah, in hindsight, I might have just stayed in with the Skarmory, but it's a bait. This team works as a bait. They try to get you to stay in with the Skarmory because those counters do add up. I assume that he's running Power Up Punch, so he would have chewed through our Skarmory. Now here we're just trying to get chip damage in on this Cresselia, so we're going to throw right off with our Hydro Cannon before we get a Grass Knot to the face. Okay, does some decent damage there, as you can see. Now, he can't farm us down, so just before we're about to get to our next Hydro Cannon, he goes ahead and dumps his energy here on the poor Swampert. Okay, so now we bring in our Skarmory, and he has a Stunfisk, which generally, since he's up shields right now, it's a favorable matchup for the Stunfisk, but if we had shields, generally your Shadow Shiftry will take out the Stunfisk. So we're only going to get a chance at, it looks like 1 attack here, so I go for the Foul Play. In hindsight, he does let me get up to what would have been 2 Leaf Blades, so I probably should have just gone that route. But this was a tough team for us to handle because of alignment. If we had just stayed in with the Skarmory there, it would have been tough getting through that Medicham. It would have been tough knowing to shield on that Medicham and when to shield, because he probably would have Power Up Punched first, followed by a Ice Punch. So this ended up just being a really tough combo for us. So we go ahead and give him the victory there. So the first match didn't go so well, but these are all positive sets, so keep that in mind, and all of these teams do work, so hopefully you guys can learn something from these teams. In fact, while filming this video, I didn't go negative at all in any set. I might have to start giving out free Magikarp wins again to get back down in rating. Yeah, see, for some reason, lag, too. Lag is a wild thing. He sends in a Marowak, and unfortunately for Marowak, Shadow Swampert is going to hit like a truck. So out comes the Hydro Cannon. Right. The only thing we really need to fear is a Shadow Ball. Shadow Bone we can handle. So I go ahead and match shields because he shielded. And it's a Bone Club bait, unfortunately. but we're still going to outpace him here. He's either going to have to give up all his shields, in which case we'll give up all of our shields. Now, we still don't know if he has Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is the one thing we don't know if he has. So we are forced to shield. I don't think he built up to it that time, though. So yeah, we're going to take the Shadow Bone. He did not fake having a Shadow Ball there, which was unfortunate for him, which allows us to get to a Hydro Pump and come out of this with a shield. All right. Cool. So we're able to take out the Marowak. And then he has a Swampert. So naturally, we have a shield advantage. All we need to do is get to one Leaf Blade here. You guys might have seen me hesitate there for a second. It's because I didn't want him to swap out. Watch this. Goodbye to Swampert. Shiftry is a beast. Of course, in comes the Ninetales, which gets completely walled by Skarmory. So, yeah, there's really not much you can do. I don't even use my shield here, I don't think. And of course, we can come back in with the Shadow Shiftry and get off a Leaf Blade if it comes down to it. You don't really need to shield here either, actually. Yeah. And then we send out the Brave Bird and say goodbye to the Ninetales. Now, that wasn't trying to flex on this guy at all. I wasn't trying to be mean about it. I just wanted that shield in case we did have to bring Shiftry in to close it out. All right. So we got to win with this team, guys. So got to win with... And, guys, this is the Oxford U team, so make sure to go check out Oxford U, okay? He's the one who came up with this team, and so... You know, we have to show him some love, show him some support, go over to his channel, and, yeah, check him out, guys. Oxford U is probably the chillest dude in the community. Also, big support for this channel from Pogoscience, Home Slice Henry, Shadow Grunt Mike. Check out the community, guys. Everybody's so good here. This is what we like to see. Azu on Shiftry action. Now, a normal Shiftry can handle an Ice Beam, but a Shadow Shiftry simply cannot. But we outpace this thing at such a rate that there is no way that the Azu can win this matchup on even shields. We're just so oh my goodness, yeah. See, look at this. Look what we're doing to him just before he's able to throw. Build up to almost 3 Leaf Blades here, guys. So I think he knows not to shield. Because, oh, he shields. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to commit the shield. Why not, right? Oh, man. Do I go for the farm down here? Or do I just build up to 2 and throw? Yeah, build up to 2 and throw. A little bit over 2. So we have a ton of energy here, guys. Let's see what he does. We brought in the Altaria, so we're going to be able to get off a foul play against Altaria. And watch how much damage this does, guys. This is actually a good chunk if he lets it go through. And he does. Look at that damage. Man, and Altaria is a tank. Now, I go for the Leaf Blade here thinking that he's going to shield. I want to get his last shield. And unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. Yeah. So, Platier out, definitely... It gave us some farm room here on the Skarmory, because he did voluntarily give up switch advantage there. So, and we did pocket the half a Leaf Blade we have in case we need it for this Azu, which looks like we don't. And we can pretty much survive anything that comes out of this right now. Then we might finally get to see what he has in the back. It's an Ice Beam coming in. What is it? It's a Cresselia. All right. So we're going to rip off some Sky Attacks here. Oh, I try to go for the Brave Bird. No. Oh, that was a mistake. This shouldn't kill, though. I should be okay. I think I just got to the Brave Bird. Let's see. I did. Okay. So we were able to get to the Brave Bird, thank goodness. That was a very risky call on my part, but looks like it ended up working out for us. Now we have to sack the Swampert here, so that we can come in and, yeah, he has to throw his energy. We force him to throw his energy onto our Swampert, right? Or else we're going to win. And then we just simply come in with the Shiftry and Leaf Blade. There it is. So a close game, very well played by our opponent, but we are able to take the win. It's just the spamminess of Shiftry. And you see why I pocketed Shiftry there? Because it was, yeah, he was going to die to one Snarl. But we pocketed the Shiftry with half a Leaf Blade against the Altaria, threw in the Skarmory to catch that Sky Attack so that we could utilize that Leaf Blade later in the match. It's very important. Recognizing when you need to sack something as well. We recognized on the Cresselia that we had to sack the Swampert so that the Cresselia would not have energy. It was energy dry going into the Shiftry, which just needed a Snarl to get to the Leaf Blade and take out the Cresselia. So very close game, very fun game. Props to my opponent for playing such a good game. Make sure, guys, to put down in the comments what team you are using, and if it's working for you, what teams you'd like me to showcase, because I will showcase more teams. You guys know that's kind of been what I've done on my channel in past seasons. I always showcase other people's teams. I never really play my own teams. Sometimes I do, like my Kanto Weather Ball team that you guys are going to see today. That was a variation on somebody else's team, but I made it my own. I switched it over to a Kanto Ninetales team, and I recorded the first set I did with it. It was a 4-1, and my phone ran out of memory, so I lost the 4-1, but I got a 3-2 right after, so we can at least enjoy that 3-2 together, right? Once again, I went positive in every single set with these teams. It looks like got a bit of a wait here. A little bit of a wait. That's okay. No problem. Yeah, for some reason, if you guys get wait like this, sometimes what's best is to just exit out and then try to rejoin. Because I think that, I think that the computer on the server that they have at Niantic just glitches out sometimes. You guys are going to see some hard losses too today, where literally the lag cost us. I'm sure you already seen in the couple of sets that we've already done. Here we go. We're about to get somebody almost instantly, but in a couple of sets we've done, I lost a air slash right off the bat with Skarmory, just because of lag. So we're always like an air slash down. Let's see if it happens again here. It's a Toxicroak, okay. Now this isn't always a clean matchup, right? As you can see, guys, like fighters hurt Skarmory. Those counters are neutral, you know? So you kind of have to match shields in this matchup if you want to come out on top. And yeah, we see him P-tie to the first move. He used a shield, so unfortunately... Oh, nope, we don't have to use one there. Okay, yeah, he didn't go up the Sludge Bomb, so... But look how close this is, guys. It's absolutely insane. So if we want to win this now, we kind of have to shield. Yeah. So at least we come out of this even shields with a little bit of energy. Yeah. Ugh. Not much we can do here, though. At least we maintain switch advantage, and we do get off the Sky Attack on the Ninetales, which is good. Ninetales can be a bit of a problem for this team, but that's okay. We can come in with our Swampert here. I want to line the Swampert up. We can take a Weather Ball, no problem, so... Let's see if he decides to throw a Weather Ball at us. Got to save that shield. There's the Weather Ball. Okay. There's about half of our life. Now, this was a mistake on his part because I could farm up a little bit of energy here and get the Hydro Cannon off. Okay. And then we just shield this and farm down, right? Oh, I pulled the pro move. Once I saw he was in Snarl range, I just kind of swapped and got the Snarl in. So apparently I was playing really well against this opponent. Okay. Yeah, and now we don't need to shield here. I think, actually, yeah, we got to the Leaf Blade, so we can shield and just chuck the Leaf Blade. As long as we don't overtap. Oh, we overtapped. We overtapped. No. Okay, that was way closer than it needed to be. Way closer. Okay, there we go. You take the Ninetales out. We're able to take the victory there. Yeah, for some reason there's a glitch when people throw and you have energy and you're clicking on where your move should be. If you're clicking really fast and you don't let the bubble appear, you don't let it come up, then you will overtap. I forgot, I think Wallower kind of pointed it out, that you will overtap. You can actually force Galvantulas to overtap by throwing as soon as they get their move. If they're spamming their move button, they will overtap. So here's a really tough, yeah. So we were countered right off the rip with the Steel type, with the Stunfisk. And then we are going to be countered again immediately by this Toxicroak, unfortunately. So it's one of those situations where you kind of have to rely on Swampert being able to absolutely maul everything in the back, right? So we kind of save our shields for Swampert, and yeah. I mean, unfortunately, this is just, it's not good, right? Usually what you try to do is build up to both a Sky Attack and a Brave Bird in these situations here against a Stunfisk, but let's see, we get off the Sky Attack, and I don't know if we're going to get to the Brave Bird or not. Let's see. Will we get to the Brave Bird, folks? It's not looking like it. It's going to be close. I think he's going to be able to mudshot us down, actually, after this. Real close. Maybe I should have just thrown the Sky... Yeah, I should have thrown the Sky Attack. Oh, yeah, we were right there. Unfortunate, but what are you going to do, right? Okay. So let's see here. We kind of have to shield. I mean, we can take one Rock Slide. Yeah, so we had to call that. That was kind of our win condition for taking this thing out, but he still has something in the back. Maybe we should have taken that Rock Slide too and then started shielding, but okay, we're up to 2 Hydro Cannons now. This is a very tough match. We don't even know what's in the back, so this is a really hard match to come back from if we do come back. So we have 1 shield left. He has 2, and it's a Skarmory, so yeah, I mean, we can make this pretty close, but we should have farmed up maybe a little bit more and taken the Rock Slide. Definitely taken the Rock Slide. Okay, here we go. Actually, it looks like he's going to be able to just air slash us down. Yeah, so we needed to get to 2... see, and then there's lag, of course, because why not? Let's see how many mud shots we are off winning here. 1, 2... Okay, so we're literally 1 mud shot off having the double up, but it's not going to matter here. I think 2 more air slashes should do it. Yeah. So it was close. That was like a really hard counter team. Of course, you see that the Stunfisk... so, yeah, there we go. There's a 3-2. So it was a winning set. That's all that matters, right? Very tough team to play. It takes a high degree of skill, and I did not practice with this team, although I am used to the Pokemon in that team, so I kind of had a little bit of an advantage there. But as you can see, we got a 3-2 with it, so it's a good team if you guys want to try it out. Very good team, very dominant team. Just, you have to be very skilled to play it. Takes a ton of skill, but it's totally worth it. So anyway, guys, we're going to be moving into my team now, I believe. Are we moving into my team? This team, guys, I went, let's see, out of 10 games, I had 7 wins. So I had 3 losses, and you're going to see 2 of those losses in this matchup here. But we did go 7-3. So let's see here. Marowak lead. Now, these are kind of tough to deal with. So we immediately go into our Politoed here, right? And he has a superior. So hard counter into hard counter, right? Unfortunately. So we just need to get as much chip damage off as we can and hope we don't get the debuff here. Are we going to get the debuff? Of course we're going to get the debuff, right? Yep, there it is. So we throw off the Earthquake just to get in as much chip damage as possible. Maybe we'll get in a Weather Ball, but he's definitely going to farm us down, right? The only good thing is that we're going to be able to farm him down afterwards with the Ninetales. When the Ninetales comes out, that's when we kind of, because those things run Aerial Ace as well as Leaf Tornado, so we're kind of hoping that he lowers our attack because we'll be able to max out on energy. And we were able to sneak in a Fire Spin there, which is perfect. Now this, guys, this is a lost game, right? You would expect that this is a lost game. Watch the power of the Weather Ball team, guys. This is one of my proudest games playing this team. One of my proudest moments. This team is absolutely destructive, right? There are teams that counter it, just like there's teams that counter this one just like every other team, right? And you're going to see a couple of the teams that counter it, and even those end up being pretty close usually. Very rarely are you completely outmatched. This team is so spammy that, yeah, you can win with it. Now, this is a good matchup. Guys, Thunder hits like a truck, but we need to get a shield, right? So when you're playing up against an Azu and you have your Rainy Cast Form, shield the first move, right? Shield the first move. Get up to your Thunder. Bait. Okay? He thinks we're out of Thunder right now. We're going to throw this Weather Ball. Everything depends on him shielding this, right? Weather Ball comes out. We get the shield. Okay. Now, he needs to save a shield for his Marowak. He knows that. And unfortunately for him, he's going to get hit by a Thunder right now, right? There's no way that he doesn't shield this, because we'll get to another one anyway. There we go. Okay. So now that we've hit him like that, we can shield and basically farm down. It's a Poliwrath. Okay. So he's expending a lot of energy here. And there we go. Out comes the Marowak. So we want to get his shield here. Want to get his shield. Because believe it or not, Ninetales hits like a truck. And here we go. Weather Ball coming out. And because the Fire Spins does such little damage, he has to throw. Like, he has to throw. Look at how much damage that did, guys. Resisted. Completely resisted on a Fire type. And we were able to sneak another Weather Ball in. To get huge damage. And he Shadow Balls us, so he just dumped his full energy. Shadow Bone would not have killed. We farm all the way down with Cast Form. And after being completely countered and then hard countered, we could have farmed him down with Water Gun, but we decide to just throw the Weather Ball and take this game. So what do you guys think of that game? That shows the power of Weather Ball. That Weather Ball spam. Swapping in that Ninetales, getting that Weather Ball off to put the Marowak within farm range, and then being able to immediately throw a Weather Ball at the incoming Azu. It's just, you always seem to have a move ready to go. However, you will find issues against the new Grasshole teams, right? And I think this is one of those instances. Yeah, this is one of those instances that you guys will see. Okay, so we win the lead here. He comes in with Vigoroth. Now, this confuses me because I expected a Bastiodon, right? That was my fault. I should have brought in the Politoed. It has a better matchup because it can 2-shield through it with Weather Ball spam. I can't do that with Rainy Cast Form. So I had this match locked up, and because I was so used to playing Bastiodon being swapped in, and then Stunfisk in the back, I messed this one up, right? So we're not going to be able to bring this one back now. Our only hope is that he, yeah, see, we had to take that. So we're going to come in here and we're going to just farm. Now, he could be bulldozing us, so we're kind of forced to shield here. And the good thing about having Ninetales in is that we can kind of see what he has in the back. and kind of see what his Pokemon in the back is. And I'm expecting Bastiodon now, which is not good for us, because as soon as we swap, the Victory Bell comes in, and it's just game over. I mean, we kind of did our best here, but okay, and then in comes the Politoed and the Victory Bell. So this team actually is very good. This opponent played it very well. I should have brought the Politoed in against the Vigoroth to make sure that I won swap there, to draw the Victory Bell back out. That way we would have had the Cast Form lined up against the Bastiodon, and Cast Form absolutely walls Bastiodon, guys. So when you're facing this reverse Grass Hole team and you see a Shadow Vic up front, just be aware that you need to line up your Cast Form with the Bastiodon, right? And he's able to sneak in a fast move there for some reason, because Niantic makes perfect games with no glitches or lag. Yeah. Can't even quit out. I think I was just more disappointed in myself in that one. But so, guys, when you play this line, you can win against that team, right? Just make sure to line up the Politoed against whatever it is they bring in, if it's not Bastiodon. Usually they bring in Bastiodon. I've played it dozens of times where they brought in Bastiodon, so I just kind of like auto played into my Cast Form. Unfortunately, not a good matchup against the Vigoroth. And there's a Bastiodon. Oh, man. Okay, so this time I bring in Politoed, expecting a swap into a grass type, and it's a Pelipper, which we need to win this matchup, right? And we're ahead on energy right now. We need to win this matchup, so I'm going all shields, everything I gotta do. Everything and anything I gotta do to win this matchup, I'm gonna do. And it looks like he's okay with losing his Pelipper, because watch what happens. We Weather Ball again, and he sneaks in a Wing Attack, which is very unfortunate for us, because this is a very tight matchup, and we just have to win this match, right? So at this point, we can double shield our way through it. We CMP tie there, and we're going to go ahead and use our shield here, because we don't want to get hurricaned. We have got to maintain alignment here, and then hope that Ninetales can kind of take care of whatever it is in the back. Seeing that he has a water type there, who knows what it is, and it's a fighter. Okay, so we're going to be just throwing our Weather Balls. I think he's starting to understand what this team is now, is that it's full Weather Ball spam. And yeah. And he gives up. Yeah, he kind of understands what's going on at that point. And I think that was a payback Machamp, to be honest with you, because he didn't throw the Cross Chop. But he was in trouble anyway. That was a lost game, because we would have lined up the Cast Form with the Bastiodon, and the Bastiodon literally can't do anything to the Cast Form. Everything's resisted. The Rock moves, the Stone Edge, the Flamethrower, everything's resisted, and the Water Guns tear through that poor creature. Driftblim. Okay, we don't mind seeing this, because we can CMP tie them to their Icy Wind, which we will win on that CMP. So we're going to go ahead and throw our Weather Ball here. Now, he would be at an Icy Wind. We're about to tell if he's going to go for a Shadow Ball, though. Let's see if he builds up to it. Yep. Okay, so he builds up to a Shadow Ball here. And I make sure to try and CMP him. I knew he was going to throw, because he could only survive 2 more Fire Spins, so he throws the Shadow Ball. I throw the Weather Ball, and he might just take shield advantage here and count it as a loss. Let's see. Yeah, he's just going to take it as a loss. So we hard won that, guys. We absolutely dominated there. Now, I got to stay in here, unfortunately. Right? Let's let this Swampert dump all of its energy onto us, which is fine. Now, we need to be spammy here. So when you need to be spammy, Politoed is kind of the way to go, right? We need to get those 2 shields back. Right, tough match here now. We need to call his Sludge Wave, which will be at our second Weather Ball. Right, because he was at 0 energy, so let's see. Right here, that's a Sludge Wave. What would be a Sludge Wave? And so I shield it, because I kind of have to, unfortunately. And it ends up being a Hydro Cannon, which is really bad for us, right? But this is a Weather Ball team, guys, so we are going to be pressuring shields. We're going to be pressuring damage. We are definitely going to be getting hit by a Sludge Wave here, because if you throw a Hydro Cannon and as a bait, by the time I get to the next Weather Ball, you're going to be at your Sludge Wave. So here comes the Weather Ball. Incoming Weather Ball damage, right? Perfect. And then we try to build up to an almost another Weather Ball, and then we bring in our Cast Form. He knows a Hydro Cannon is kind of fruitless at that point. It's not going to do any damage to this thing. Umbreon. Now, Umbreon is super tough, right? This thing is like ultra tanky, but it's going to be a war of attrition here. Shields are down. We just need to spam Weather Balls, right? Spam Weather Balls. And look at how much damage the Quick Move's doing, guys. We're able to Water Gun the heck out of this Umbreon, who is probably gonna, yeah, Foul Play is kind of the move here, and that's why I kind of get a little bit surprised with this here when he throws a Last Resort. Problem for him is this that puts him at like no energy, and we were able to CMP tie him there with the Weather Ball. So we throw the Weather Ball. Now he's not going to be able to farm our Politoed down, so I was trying to switch there, and unfortunately it just wasn't working. So right here we were able to get to the Weather Ball. Very, very close game, guys. Isn't this wild, though? Like, this is just a wild game. That Weather Ball does a ton of damage coming out of Politoed. He's forced to throw his energy, and lucky for us, what did we do with our Cast Form? We stored a Weather Ball. How many times am I going to say Weather Ball in this video? As you guys can see, even against tough matchups, guys, we can still win because we are just spamming Weather Ball. So knowing when to sack, like we had to sack Ninetales there, we made him energy dry, and then able to spam we spammed like 10 Weather Balls that match. Must have been close to the timer too. We're probably pretty close to that game just ending. But yeah, anyway, let's see here. It's pretty cool that we were able to get a win out of that. Let's go into our next match and see what we face. Altaria. Nope. Okay, we lost. Just so you guys know, Altaria has to be played in a certain way with this team, and if they know you're running a Weather Ball team, you're really not going to win. So we go for the Psyshock right off the rip. One of these moves has to land, either the Psyshock or a Thunder from Cast Form, right? Unfortunately, this is really bad for us here. Yeah, maybe I should have shielded that. I think that would probably give us a better shot against Altaria. But Altaria lead is the one Achilles heel of this team, right? You either have to land a Psyshock or you have to land a Thunder. And if you can do one of the two, then you can absolutely destroy the standard Altaria teams with the Stunfisk and Azu in back, because you can just hard counter their back line. The only problem is getting through the Altaria. And I think he realizes we're Weather Ball now, so maybe I should have baited a Weather Ball, but nobody shields their Altaria usually. But I think this guy had our team dialed in, right? He knew what was going down. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's definitely going to be an L for us. Sky attack coming in. He's out of shields. We're out of shields. We're not going to make it to the Thunder, so we just throw a Weather Ball just for Weather Ball's sake, right? My thought here was that if we can just get to the back line, but no, we weren't able to. We need a Water Gun down here. And I tried to catch on Politoed, and it didn't work, and they have a grass in the back, so good night to us. What a weird team. Altaria with Chestnut in the back. It's almost like the game found the perfect team to counter ours, where there was literally no chance of winning. And yeah, good job from our opponent. But it looks like we were able to pick up a 3-2 there, guys. See, that's a very dominant team, probably my favorite team to play. It's my team variant on Weather Ball, and it's very successful as long as you don't run into certain teams, you know, but that's the same with every team. We have one more team to go over, guys. One more very powerful team. So I have to just make some changes to some of the Pokemon that we're going to end up using here. But that's okay. So this team, guys, is called the Charm Hole. It's called the Charm Hole. Now, it either wins hard or loses hard. I've played Charm Hole in many seasons. I usually play it as a gimmick team. Like in Halloween Cup, I did really well with Golbat lead with Clefable and Wiggly. Yeah, Clefable, Wiggly. So double charm. It's a great Halloween Cup team in case you guys are ever wondering. It really dominates the meta. So this team is actually Obstagoon in the lead, right? And you have 2 Charmers in the back being Ninetales, which we're going to have to go change because I use Weather Ball Ninetales usually, so you want Powder Snow. We're going to have to change Ninetales to Charm here. So you use Charm Ninetales. Also, I've seen people use Whimsicott as well. Whimsicott's another option, as well as Clefable. Clefable's another option. So I'm going to be learning how to play this team during this set, but like I said, all these sets are positive sets, guys. So they're all teams that are viable, all teams that will do well. Okay. So here we go. Let's try out this team and see how it does. Called the Charm Hole. I guess it's kind of based off the Grass Hole design, right? Usually you have your steel up front with your grass in the back, because if you win the lead, then they're going to swap, and you can swap and safely Razor Leaf down pretty much anything in the game, because anything that's going to counter your steel type is going to get Razor Leaf down pretty hard, right? Azus or Swamperts or whatever. Generally, they're there to punish the Azu safe swap. So we have a counter user up front. So if we win the lead, generally they're going to try to put something in that can take care of Obstagoon, you know, like another Charmer, a Fighter or something, right? So you'll see maybe Toxicroak getting swapped in, Vigoroth getting swapped in. That's a good time to swap in your Charmer to take down the Fighter. It takes down Machamp, right? So it's kind of the same trap swap concept, an ABB team, right? You have one type in the front that takes care of the weakness of the ones in the back, pretty much, right? And then the ones in the back kind of cover the weakness of the one in the front. So usually you can go up a Pokemon real quick, but if you lose, if you don't have good lineup, then you're definitely going to lose with this team. It's not as easy to play a Charm Hole as you'd think. So we have Obstagoon with Cross Chop and Night Slash, of course. You don't want Gunk Shot variant because you can already handle the Azumarill matchup with your Ninetales, right? Ninetales can take care of Azu pretty easily, actually. You can shield your way through that matchup. You can even take a hit and still survive from Azu. You can kind of one shield your way through it and come out with a little energy too, or you can try to get a shield from them. So we're just throwing Night Slashes here, doing our thing. Okay, we're able to take down the Marowak. So let's see what he has in the back. It's an Azu, okay? So here you guys can see what I was talking about with this matchup. The Charms are going to be doing a lot of damage. Okay, there's the Charms. That one didn't register, but we did about a third of his health, right? So we can shield one just to kind of see what he has for a move, right? See if he's throwing Ice Beams or Hydro Pumps or whatever, right? Now, we didn't sneak a bubble in there. We just pressed as the animation hit. He wasn't able to get back and sneak a bubble in, which is great. So as you'll be able to see, we'll get him down to, well, normally what would be 2/3 health, but he's going to be pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised when he sees a Wigglytuff come into that Asu later, right? So we're just going to save the shield here. we go. He's not shielding. That's fine. He can take out our Ninetales here, because we're just going to come in and throw a Night Slash at him. Okay. Here comes the Night Slash. So we'll definitely kill at this range, I believe. Yep, Hypno goes down. And then, surprise, we have another Charmer, which we can just shield and take out the Azu. So this is an example of where Double Charm works. We will see examples of where Double Charm just doesn't work, where it gets hard countered. But it does take a little bit of skill to play this team. But once you get it, you can do very well with it. I think this is a solid post 500 team, meaning that it's a solid team where you can go over 500 for wins during the day. So you'll win more than you lose with this team. And if you can play it really well, you might, pull out some really good win-loss ratios. Okay, so we win the lead on this one. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens in this game. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and counter and throw our Cross Chop. So it's very important we win this matchup, right? Because we don't want that Stunfisk seeing anything in the back, right? It's just not what we want to see happen. We can survive an Earthquake, though, but I think we're extra protective here. We just don't want, yeah, there's the Earthquake. Okay, we just don't want this thing to see any of our Charmers. Okay, so we're loaded on energy now. Very healthy Obstagoon, but he has a shield advantage. Here comes Azu. So this time, because of Switch, I wasn't sure if he was going to switch out as Azu. I brought in the Wigglytuff instead of the Ninetales, because I know the Ninetales has a really good matchup against Azu. So, yeah, if he had swapped, I would have been able to bring the Obstagoon in against whatever he swapped that kills the Wiggly, and then line up our Ninetales with it later on in the game. Okay. Poliwrath goes out. Now, yeah, I mean, if this is a Hydro Pump, it just kills us, right? So let's see what he decides to do. It is a Hydro Pump. Okay, cool. So now we are forced to reveal our last Pokemon. Luckily, we can just Charm down. He still has a shield, though, remember. So whatever he has in the back... Oh, it's a Driftblim. Perfect. Yeah, this is an absolute victory for us. Very dominant win. Another great showcasing of how Double Charm works well. It does well against a lot of the top meta teams right now, a lot of the top meta lines. We had a Obstagoon in back with 2 Night Slashes loaded, so it doesn't matter what he shielded. He either shield, one of the Night Slashes or that Weather Ball. So good game to our opponents. Okay. All right. Shiza Supreme. Shiza Supreme. I hope you guys are learning something from these teams. I want you guys to get better. I want all of you guys to do well. Now, this is a problem. This is where Charm Hole runs into issues. He does let us get in 2 Charms, but of course he has a Charmer of his own. And after the damage from the Machamp, we are going to lose this matchup hard, man. Hard. This is where I start learning what you need to do with Charm Hole, right? This is where I start learning. Now we're going to throw here. It's very important we get shields. Lining up, because we lost the lead like that, maintaining alignment was so important. But unfortunately, we're just not able to do it. Not able to do it here. So we have to bring the Obstagoon in. Oh, yeah. See, I should have brought the Obstagoon in so that we could bait out the Machamp, because our switch timer would have been just barely off his, and maybe we could have snuck in a Charm. And it's a Skarmory. So, yeah, we're definitely in trouble here. Okay. Now, maybe I should have stayed in against a Skarmory and just thrown the weather balls, because if we had gotten one more charm, we actually would have won this match. But it's very tough when you lose a lead hard like that and they have a steal in the back. But Ninetales can actually bring you back from a steal. You guys will see. We make this game way closer than it ever should have been, right? No shields, unfortunately. If we had a shield, we would have won. But, and that air slash he snuck in, that's unfortunate. But watch how much damage Ninetales is able to output. Now, we would survive a Sky attack, and I think he knows that. So he has to build up to the Brave Bird. And look, we were one charm away from a Weather Ball that would have won us the match. So, lesson learned there. Bring in the Obstagoon to farm down to get a little bit more energy, so that we can throw more moves at the Machamp and get the charm in that we need for the Skarmory in the back, right? Basically, sack the Obstagoon and get the shield on the Machamp, sack the Obstagoon, and come in with Ninetales with a shield and beat the Skarmory, right? All right. Obstagoon into Bastiodon. Okay, so this is a good lead for us. Unfortunately, he probably has a Razor Leaf from the back, so not going to be good, right? Okay, here comes a Toxicroak. I'm trying to swap. Unfortunately, the swap just wasn't working there. So we bring Ninetales in. We're going to shield here. I don't know why we shield this. We probably should. Well, Sludge Bomb. We came in late. That's why we had to shield it, right? 3. Yeah, we probably should have just let this Mud Bomb come through so that we can't be farmed as much by the Bastiodon. But once again, a learning process. He's going to have a Razor Leafer in the back anyway, which I'm pretty sure will just sweep our team. That's unfortunately how these matches go against a Bastiodon lead. You can play it a little bit differently than I did. Once again, I'm kind of learning the double charm team as we go here, and so I hope you guys learned from my mistakes. Yeah, a quicker swap is what was needed there. A quicker swap would have definitely changed this matchup a ton. So we're going to preserve the health on Obstagoon here. In the previous set, I had won against a team just like this, but this one happens to have Cherim in the back as their Razor Leafer, unfortunately. Very unfortunate for us. So we're going to have to take this. In comes a Weather Ball. I know all about Weather Balls. All right. And we couldn't get in that last charm, but maybe we can farm. He's still got 2 shields, so he's in a good spot against us. So what we're trying to do is hit that Night Slash before he can sneak in any moves here. And if we get a boost, we win this game, even with 2 shields. That's how dominant Obstagoon is. All we need is a boost. And he snuck in a move there, which is unfortunate. But a boost wins this game. You guys will see how close it is. And I just won against a similar team, but they had a different Razor Leafer in the back that was easier to handle. So let's see here. Yeah, see, guys, we were so close. Well, yep, 1 counter. We were 1 counter away from a win there. So you can beat Bastiodon leads, guys. Just if I was quicker on the swap, that's all it was. You guys could see me tapping, but for some reason, it just wasn't swapping. So I blame myself for that, but sometimes the game can do that where you're trying to swap and it just won't go through, and that can cost you the game. But yeah, somebody who plays this team better than me would definitely have won that game. And I had won against a very similar team in the previous set. So we've got our losses out of the way. Let's see how we do winning with this team again, right? Why this team is so dominant and how you can come back against many. Oh, Shadow Mawile, guys. So it's a fairly decent lead because it takes super effective damage from the counters. Now we're going to go ahead and bring our Wigglytuff in here. Wigglytuff against Weather Ball user, which is fine because if we need to, we'll 2-shield through it to maintain alignment. So And we snuck in that charm, which is key. Hopefully that means we only need to use one shield here. In comes the Weather Ball. So this is a very cool team, very spicy. I like Shadow Mawile. You guys know I've used it in the past. I've made videos on it, and I think it's a very underrated Pokemon. Okay, there's the Shadow Mawile. So we're going to go ahead and throw. See if we can't get some damage against this thing. All right, he lets the damage go through on the Shadow Mawile. He's got 2 shields. Now, I'm expecting a power-up punch. He's not quite at an Iron Head yet. So this, yeah, he's 1 Fire Fang off an Iron Head here. So luckily I know these count. So we're going to take the power-up punch, even though it is super effective. But we should be able to farm down anyway. Okay. And he comes in with Altaria. And we build up to 2 moves. Then we just can charm this thing down. Honestly, we can take a Sky Attack and continue to farm down here, no problem. So Sky Attack comes in. Here we go. And I just charm this thing down. We'll probably shield the next one and then just charm down the Mawile. Okay. So, oh, looks like because I have 2 Night Slashes, or 2 Cross Chops on the Obstagoon ready, looks like I'm just going to throw the Weather Ball. But it doesn't matter at this point. We Simul KO, and we have an Obstagoon left, so we take the victory. So there we go, guys. There we go. 3 teams in action. 3 teams you guys can learn from, and you guys can win with and have winning records in Go Battle League with these teams. Find a team you're comfortable with. Stick to it. And, yeah, I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for sticking around, and you guys are the best. Generation out.